we live our lives much the same way. So what initially was this, when you first started doing something, you worked within the range. It could go as low as this or as high as this. But once you start learning something and it becomes familiar, then the range gets shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter until your range is actually, it's just a decimal point. TSL, let's rock it out, man. Welcome back, or welcome to another edition of the Sales Life. And just to back up real quick, man, the other day, dude, we talked about, in episode 535, we talked about making better decisions. And one way that you're gonna make better decisions is listing a range of potential outcomes. And many times we didn't, the decision that we made didn't work out. It's not that it was the wrong decision, but oftentimes it's because you didn't factor in a range of potential outcomes. Because you made the decision based on a point, your point. Because not only do we make decisions in points, you're gonna find that you also live your life in points. Whether you know it or not, you're living your life and you're moving throughout your day to get to a point. The points that you get to all throughout your day are the points that make you feel comfortable. The points that are certain. The points that make you feel safe. The points that are familiar to you. And you work every single day within those points. And when you were first learning something, you worked within the ranges. But as you started learning something, you went from ranges to points. And you went from progress, which is the range, to regress, which is a point. If you find right now that your life is boring, or that your success has been flat, it's because you're on your points and you're no longer working within ranges. See, initially, what's a range? When you put a range in, when somebody says the range for something that you're gonna buy is anywhere from $50 to $200, right in between there's that range. It could be 75, it could be 65, it could be somewhere within there, right? We live our lives much the same way. So what initially was this, when you first started doing something, you worked within the range. It could go as low as this or as high as this. But once you start learning something and it becomes familiar, then the range gets shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter until your range is actually, it's just a decimal point. And you're standing on your points. And you lose your potential sources of possibilities, which are found within your ranges. Dude, you and I both, we got to get our ranges back. And the range is your discomfort. Let me ask you this. How much discomfort do you tolerate in your day? How much discomfort do you go out and seek every single day? Or do you wait for discomfort when your back's against the wall, you can't do anything, so you have to face the discomfort? So you got to find, and I want you to seek today, ranges of discomfort. And dude, they don't have to be major ranges of discomfort. Just small ones. Small ones that you actually pick out. They could be on social, or they could be out there in your career. And let me give you a test of how you know that you're working within points and how you have what I call point speak. And point speak is where you say, I don't want to look stupid. They're not going to go for that. I'm not good at that. I'm not going to try this because it's not going to work. See, that's all point speak. When you say things like that, that is proof that you're working in points and not living any longer in a range. Until this morning, dude, I didn't realize, I guess there were some subtle things that were happening that I was discovering of how much of my day is scripted. The sales life is scripted. The podcast you hear is scripted. The snippets that you see on social media is scripted. When I go to work to sell, it's all scripted. But see, if I worked solely within the confines of the script, that means I stay on the point. And when I'm on my point, dude, I lose my range of possibilities, of potential outcomes. This is why I go live on Facebook. I go live because I could get to the point of hitting record, editing it, and then putting it out there. I go live because it forces me to get stuck, to lose my train of thought, to in my mind say, oh my God, I don't know where I'm going with this. And I don't have the option to hit the big red button. So much, dude, of our lives is found right there in that big red button. Where's the button at? Right there in that button. Let me find the camera lens. It's right there in that button. And what we want to do is every single day, we want to hit this button and we want to say, I'm going to start over. You've got to get off the scripts in your life and you got to start working within the ranges itself. And that means that I have to joke around. I opened up a Snapchat account. Because it's very awkward for me to just go impromptu live. It's very uncomfortable. The most satisfying thing that can happen to me is after I hit the stop button. Because when I'm live, I'm like, what if I sound stupid? What if I look stupid? What if I say the wrong thing? What if I forget everything I'm supposed to say? These are all things, and I do it, I force myself, because within that range right there, even when I screw up, even when I get lost, even when sometimes the episodes are trash to me, it's a range. And within that range are my possibilities. Areas of discomfort for me is doing a TikTok video with my daughter. People say all the time, man, I thought you were so serious. And then they start coming around me more and they're like, dude, you actually have a sense of humor. I'm like, yeah, I like to clown around a lot. I have a sense of humor, but you don't see that because so much of what I'm doing is on a point and not on a range. Salespeople are the most scripted individuals there are. Because see, by and large, we're not social butterflies like we lead you to believe. You think that when we meet you, that we're not terrified. See, we can sell as an extrovert, but we live throughout our days as introverts. See, along the way, we've learned how to get to points. So we know how to get to points in order to make the point, which is to make a sale. But you limit your success once you start kind of getting familiar, once you start knowing the lay of the land, you lose your ranges and you get to your points. If you know exactly how to get to something, how to arrive at a specific result and know how to get it right then and there, and can almost always do it, it's proof, man, that you're living on a point and no longer a range. You got to explore new ranges. And the way that you do that, man, is you're going to have to add some suffering and some vulnerability and just some overall discomfort to your life. And again, dude, it doesn't have to be in major ways, but even in the minor ways, they have major benefits. So, some areas of discomfort. I'm gonna give you some ideas. Some areas of discomfort for you. At your gym, use all different machines that you normally do. That's uncomfortable for you. You wanna go in and knock that routine out. Take some routine out. Discomfort for you would take an evening run if you normally knock your runs out in the morning. Another area of discomfort is go live on social media, impromptu. Because, and even after 500 episodes, I got to realize this. You're judging you for how you look more so than anybody else is. People are listening for what you have to say. So go live, go impromptu, open up a Snapchat like I did, get a TikTok. It doesn't mean you have to go way outside and be totally who you're not. But what I'm saying is you do things that make you feel uncomfortable. So that way you can work and discover new ranges of possibilities. Ask for a discount at Starbucks. Dance. That's uncomfortable for me. My daughter loves for me. I don't know how to bounce the Megan Thee Stallion, but my daughter loves for me to do it because it gives her something to laugh at. Because see, she can dance. I look like a lumberjack. But that's what it's all about, man. It's the airs. And you know how many times I said, no, I don't want to do this. No, I don't want to do this. Do it. And how much laughter I get on the other side of it, man. Even doing throughout it. Another area of discomfort for you, start a podcast. I've had numerous people start podcasts, man. And I love that. I love the fact that they said, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna do it. Start a YouTube channel. Don't worry about the subscribers. Once you start getting the traction, if that's an area of concern for you, you want to ratchet it up a little bit, then go right ahead. Another area of discomfort is called the first 5 customers you ever sold to. And I know it was 10 years ago, and I know you don't know if they're living or not, but call them anyway. It makes it uncomfortable, but see, that's what forces you off a point and gets you back into these ranges itself. See, all of these things that I'm talking about, they're all areas of discomfort. And they're all sources of exponential growth. So, Marsh, how does going live, how is that going to better my career? It betters your career because when you go live, you work within the point system of saying, I don't want to look stupid. Once you hit live and you start talking and you forget what you're going to say, you don't really have, at the risk of looking stupid, you don't really have the luxury of turning off the camera. So going live forces you to have to be creative. It forces you to be impromptu, and it forces you to push past that sticking point. And you'll discover areas that the more I do it, the better I'll get at it. How does making a TikTok video make me a better manager? Because it strips away for 15 seconds the social mask that you put, that you're Mr. All have it together, and it shows a human side. Because see, people like to work with people. They don't like to work with titles. So little stuff like that shows that you're a real dude. And people like to work with real dudes. And I know, dude, it's gonna feel awkward. And it feels awkward because it's a range and it's no longer a point. But it's massively beneficial for you. You're gonna find that you have worked within these self-imposed limitations. And now that you get off your points and find your ranges, you're gonna discover new possibilities and capabilities that had lain dormant for a long time, and discover things that you didn't even know that you were capable of, and find a new range of possibilities. Because options in life don't come from points. They come from ranges. So go find your range. Boom. That's it. Never settle. Keep selling your way through life, no matter what. Stay in the sales life.
Hey, you've reached the end of this episode, but you have not reached the end of the sales life. Stay tuned. I got another one queued up just for you.